Amelia Earhart and her epic solo flight from America to Ireland.
Saudi Arabian women.
In 2013, I was a senior, attending a small rural high school about 2 hours north of Lincoln. One day I was sitting in my English class. My teacher was leading a group discussion on a woman doing what was stereotypically deemed a man's job, and she asked us how we felt about it. At the same time, I said, "Good for her." The boy next to me said, "That's not right." I was shocked. I asked him if he seriously thought that I or any other female could not do a job just as well, if not better than he could. He turned to me and said no. I was speechless, which, trust me, doesn't happen very often. The thing was, this boy was a class and school leader. He was well respected by his teachers and his peers, and he was my friend. And I wondered how someone I respected could have so little to no respect for me simply because of my sex. And that was the first time I realized how great of an impact my gender could have on how others perceived my intelligence, my personality, my overall worth. On this poster, we see a Google search bar showing actual results. When the phrase "women need to" was typed into Google, be put in their place, know their place, be controlled, and be disciplined were the top results. Now, Google's autocomplete feature is reflected by the most common Google searches performed globally. And these searches were completed on March 9th of 2013. That's less than 2 years ago. And these sexist statements aren't unique to places where female oppression is to the extreme. They're found here in the United States, in the thoughts of your neighbor, your relative, your friend. We also see results like these. Actual Google searches claiming that women should stay at home, be slaves, be in the kitchen, and not speak in church. Now, these results call into question two opinions: global societies and Google's. First, because Google's autocomplete feature is powered by the most popular searches, it demonstrates the magnitude of people around the world who hold these beliefs. These results also highlight the lack of responsibility Google holds, because while Google's algorithm is altered to censor hate speech in other situations, it doesn't appear to apply to misogyny. A few months ago, one of my best friends and I were discussing the general oppression of women. He made the comment that there are too many feminist groups out there, too many organizations focused on helping women. They don't really have it that bad. This surprised me, and so I replied, as any young feminist should, with facts. If women don't have it that bad, then why on average do they only earn 77 cents to every man's dollar? According to the White House website, a typical 25-year-old woman working full-time all year round earned $5,000 less than the typical 25-year-old man. Throughout her working lifetime, U.S. Census data predicts that by age 65, the average woman will have lost $431,000. Yet, the same source claims that 49 million children depend on women's salaries, and that in 50% of households, women are the breadwinners. A Huffington Post article from July 15th of this year cites a study finding that if the wage rate continues as is, we won't see equal wages for another 75 years. Now, there are a multitude of reasons behind the slow increase in wages. First, in many countries, including the United States, women tend to be concentrated in industries that are low-paying and undervalued, such as education and healthcare. Beyond this, women are more likely to participate in unpaid work, which may include taking care of children or the elderly. Oxfam reports that women around the world donate 2 to 5 hours of unpaid work per day on average to the global economy. Now, because women are more likely to participate in so much unpaid work, they are then more likely to only be employed part-time or maintain unprotected jobs. If women don't have it that bad, then why are there 100 million fewer women on the planet than there should be? In their book, Half the Sky, Nicholas Kristof and Cheryl Wooden share that some of these are due to gender-selective abortions, others from abuse and discriminatory health care. For instance, in India, a girl from 1 to 5 years of age is 50% more likely to die than boys the same age. This means that one of these girls dies from discrimination every 4 minutes. Even if you don't see female oppression around you or recognize it in your relationships, it's happening in your world, in your country, in your state, and in your town. It's happening here, and it's happening now. Now, in the 2 years since my personal experiences, I've done 2 things. First, I've researched by studying the history of feminism and reading different theories. I am by no means an expert, but I understand and recognize the importance of knowledge. Second, I've spoken out. I don't really bite my tongue. I stand up for who I am and what I believe in. And speaking out is something we all need to do. 2 months ago, a 22-year-old man killed 6 people and injured 13 more near Santa Barbara, California. In his video, titled Retribution, Elliot Rogers shares of his plans to hurt girls similar to those that had previously rejected his sexual advances. And while this was a horrific occurrence, it did lead to the start of an important conversation. Shortly after the shooting, #YesAllWomen began trending on Twitter. Men and women from all over shared their thoughts on misogyny and male entitlement. Since then, many men have started speaking out using #AllMenCan, in which they share how men can participate and advocate for gender equality. Whether it's Sheryl Sandberg, COO of Facebook, speaking out against gender discrimination in her recent book, Lean In, or UN Women for releasing the Autocomplete Truth campaign, it's evident that people aren't just creating awareness. They're starting a conversation, and they're taking action. Maybe for you, taking action is tweeting your beliefs, or standing up to your friends when they make a rape joke. My personal action was giving a speech on sexism and misogyny throughout my season as a member of UNL's forensics team, as well as giving this talk right now. Complacency is our greatest obstacle in the movement for change. Coming from a first world country, we are at one of the greatest positions to combat this issue. And so it is time to take action, and it's time to be the change. Women deserve to be treated as equal. We are missing out on so many creative and innovative minds by discouraging the success of females. If we, as a society, were to work more closely with one another, each sex sharing ideas from their own unique perspectives, think of the impact we could have. Women should not suffer from discrimination anymore. From discrepancies in wage gaps to discriminatory health care, it is vital that both men and women fight for equality. Women cannot accept the way things are. We cannot accept the way things are. And so I challenge you to counteract this complacency, whether via a speech, a letter, or a conversation. It is time to take action, and it is time to be the change.